How's it going, guys? Now, you've probably heard the word proxy before. It may have been from one of your teachers, one of your nerd friends, or some random guy on television. And if you clicked on this video, you're probably wondering, what the is a proxy? Well, fear not, young Padawan. Today, I'll be teaching you what a proxy is and how it works. Understanding proxies. What is a proxy? A proxy is an intermediary server or service in IT. It routes users' requests through it before it reaches the destination. It is used for anonymity, security, filtering, and performance. It can hide the user's IP address. Controls access to content and improves loading times through caching. Key uses of a proxy. Anonymity. It hides the user's identity and IP address. Content filtering. It blocks or allows access to specific websites or content. Security. Provides a layer of defense against attacks. Caching. Improves loading times by storing copies of frequently accessed content. How proxies work. The user sends a request to the proxy. The proxy forwards the request to the destination server. The server responds to the proxy. The proxy sends the response back to the user. For example, a web proxy is used to access a website. Simple diagram of a proxy. So as you can see here, the client is on the internet and is using the proxy server to access the internet. Any website on the internet will not be able to see the client address. It will only be able to see the proxy server address. The two main types of proxies. While there are many more proxies out there, these are just the two of the main ones. The forward proxy. Used by clients to access resources on the internet. It masks the client's IP address. And now the second one is called the reverse proxy. It is placed in front of servers to manage traffic. And it is often used for load balancing and security. And now load balancing is pretty much just balancing out the load of web traffic that a server will get. So if there's multiple clients connecting to a server, then the load balance will step before the server and just balance out the load of all these data going through the network. A forward proxy. So this is how the forward proxy works. The client request. The user sends a request to access the resource via the forward proxy. So this is the client here, and before it can get here, it has to use the forward proxy. The proxy receives. The proxy receives and processes the request. So it will receive the request here. And then the proxy will forward the request to the target server using its own IP and not the client IP. So the forward proxy will go over the internet and then into the resource server. And the server responds. Now this server will respond. The target server sends back the response to the proxy. So it will send through the internet back to the proxy server. And now the proxy delivers. The proxy forwards the response to the user. The reverse proxy. It's very similar, but it's more for servers. So the client request. A user sends a request to access a resource through the reverse proxy. So the client will go over the internet and into the reverse proxy to then access content from the web server. And then the proxy receives. The reverse proxy receives the request and forwards it to the back-end server. And the server responds. Server processes the request and sends the response to the reverse proxy. Proxy delivers. The reverse proxy forwards the server's response back to the user. It goes through the internet back to the client. Benefits of using a proxy. privacy, keeps personal information hidden. Access control, regulates user access to specific resources. Enhanced performance, reduces bandwidth and loading times via caching. Security, can block malicious sites or attacks before they reach the user. Limitations of a proxy. Not foolproof. Proxies don't guarantee complete anonymity. Potential slowdowns. If overused or misconfigured, proxies can slow down traffic. Security risks. Some proxies, especially the free ones, may log user data. So if you're doing any naughty business, you're not going to want to use a free proxy. VPN and proxies. While VPN and proxies are quite similar in how they work, they also have some differences. Similarities. Both route traffic through a middle server. Both hide the user's IP address. They both help bypass restrictions. They both provide some level of privacy. And now here are the differences. VPN encrypts all traffic, while proxies usually no encryption. But if it's a web server, usually they'll still have the SSL encryption, but a VPN will just make it more secure. The VPN also covers the entire device, meaning anything outbound will be going through the VPN. Now, while the proxy only works on specific apps or browsers. Proxy, typically faster than a VPN, but the VPN offers stronger security and anonymity. Well, that sums up the video. I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope you learned more about proxies and how they work. And please like and subscribe, because I am Paul. Anyway, thanks guys.